Namaste to all of you, and welcome to a very special session of a master class with none other than Jawahar Sir. Or any one of you who's already a student of Iyengar Yoga is already aware of who Jawahar Sir is. For all those of you who are not aware of Iyengar Yoga, this is going to be an excellent session to kind of get familiar with what Iyengar Yoga is all about, and to make us familiar with this Yoga Vidya of Iyengar Yoga. We have none other than a very senior disciple and a direct disciple of Guruji, Padma Vibhushan B.K.S. Iyengar. Jawahar Sir has been his direct disciple and a senior Iyengar yoga teacher for many years. Most of us in Mumbai who learn and practice Iyengar yoga are in one way or the other connected with him or to his students. So thank you very much for joining me today. When you're listening to the instructions, if there is anything that you do not understand, or if there is anything that you're unable to do, please ensure that you do not do those things, and later you can look up iyengaryoga.in. That's the official website, and given your state, and look up for your country or your state, and then you will be able to see the certified teachers to whom you can go to, or you can talk to them and you can clarify all your doubts. Now, to do this class with me, what you will need is a chair, so you're going to be needing the chair that you typically sit on when you're working from home. You're also going to need, if you have them handy, blankets from home and a bath towel, a regular bath towel. So while I invite Jawahar Sir to join me, you can go around in your house and look out for the chair on which you typically sit and do all your work from, and also the blankets and a bath towel. That's all that we need for today. All right, I'm now inviting Jawahar Sir to join us. He's in the type who's on Instagram, and he has very kindly agreed to be on Instagram at least for today. Thank you very much for joining us, sir, and a very happy New
नमस्ते
Year
मैडम।
to you. Namaste.
नमस्ते, नए वर्ष के शुभकामनाएं।
आपको भी सर।
थैंक यू।
यस, मैंने ऑलरेडी सबको बता दिया है कि अगर कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आता है तो मत कीजिए, and look out for a qualified certified Iyengar yoga teacher जो आपको वेबसाइट पे मिल सकते हैं, and on iyengar.in, iyengaryoga.in,
bksinger.com. bksinger.com. That is the website.
On bksinger.com, that's the website.
That
So
is the
we just need to go on to that website, or फिर we can get a teacher from our country, our state, and we can go to them and clarify any doubts that we have.
Not only that, they can select their own country and find out if they have a teacher in their own neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
just select their own country, their own state and neighborhood, and they'll probably get a teacher there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Great. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. And, as you already know, that we've all been working from home. And because we've been working from home, we have been going through neck aches and back aches and stuff. So if you can teach us a sequence today which can help prevent the damage that WFH is doing to our bodies, then we would all be very grateful.
All right. Before I begin, let me pay my respects to Maharishi Patanjali for having given us the subject of yoga for the serenity of the mind, subject on grammar for the purity and clarity of speech, and for Ayurveda, the science of medicine. I also salute my Guruji, Yogacharya B.K.S. Iyengar, my other Gurujis, Geetaji, Prashantji, and the lineage of gurus that have come from before him, from the beginning of time, with an unbroken lineage. We are all grateful for them for having brought this subject to us in a recognizable state. All right. So the first thing that people usually find difficult is because we are hovering over a computer all the time. And
Correct.
because of that, your neck gets extended. And unfortunately, we don't extend the neck correctly because the neck rests on the shoulders. And the shoulders are connected to your arms. So the problem begins with your arms. So if you know how to adjust your arms, you will be able to adjust your shoulder and then release the tension in your neck. So the simplest thing I would ask them to do is learn to stand against a wall. Okay. Yeah, I will ask you to demonstrate if it's possible. Yes. So if you
Yes.
can go against a wall. Yeah. Now, when you stand against the wall, keep your heels very slightly forward because the buttocks will prevent you from taking the heels all the way back. Yes, this is one part of it. I'll explain the legs a little later. Let's focus on the upper trunk. Yes. Now, when you rest the shoulders against the wall, observe whether the outer shoulders are in contact with the wall. Okay. So once the outer shoulders come in contact with the wall, the next action you will notice is that the chest begins to lift up. Not only does the chest lift up, there is an expansion in the upper chest. So the lungs open out. Yes, this is one part of it. Now, can you just focus on the arms, please? Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So now your arms turn. I will ask you now. Turn the palms to face the front. Yes, that way. Now you see, notice the rotation of your upper arm. Yes, it
Yes.
is rolling inside out. Now that is the correct rotation of the arms at all times. But unfortunately, what happens? Keep the palm facing inwards. Now you see your outer shoulders come away from the wall when you
Yes.
do that. Notice that? So
Yes,
again,
sir.
turn that palm outwards. Keep the back of the palm against the wall. Now the shoulder blades touch the wall evenly. And the
Yes.
chest remains open. The head naturally goes backward. That's the other part one must understand. So as the head naturally goes backward, the frontal brain becomes quiet. That is what is important. So if you can stand like this for some time, in between breaks, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, so they will get an idea of how the shoulder should actually behave. You see, the back body cannot be seen. Frontal body can be seen. You can stand in front of a mirror and see the frontal body. But for the back body, you will need additional mirrors, and
Right.
that sort of distorts the view. But when your back body is in contact with the wall, with the floor, etc., it sends a message to how the body should be adjusted. Unfortunately, we don't take note of those adjustments, and that is how we have these problems. Okay. Now, another action I can tell you right here. Always remember the upper arm moves into the socket. Now, just step away from the wall and you will notice what happened. Huh. Now, if you just relax, the arms move out of the socket, the palms are turning inwards. Yes, everything turns inwards, and that puts pressure on the neck, pressure on the shoulders, pressure on the chest. So now that you're standing here, just rotate your palm outwards like you did against the wall, and now turn it out a little more in the same direction. Yes. Notice how the shoulder blades begin to work.
Yes.
Yes. And you see the shoulder blades come close to the back ribs and the back ribs come close towards the back lungs. So this is the all-round opening that one has to learn. And once you have this action, then you can proceed further to the other parts. Okay. You want to do the other one, Badongli Asana? Okay.
Yes.
Step back against the wall one more time. Touch your outer shoulders there. Yes. Now remember what I said a little earlier. The upper arm never moves out of the socket. Now take both arms in front of you without allowing the shoulder blades to move away. Yes. Now entwine your fingers. Interlace. Correct. Rotate the fingers to point away from you. Palms, sorry, to point away from you. Yes. Now Keep the outer shoulders as they are. Your elbows are slightly bent. Yes. Press the outer shoulders to straighten your arms. So there should be a resistance to straighten your arms. So your chest must never sink when you are working on your arms. Remember that. Okay. If possible, you can take the arms up. Those who have no shoulder problems can then take the arms upwards towards the wall. Okay. Now this is a slightly difficult action. It's not that easy to do. Yes. You can notice the disparity in the shoulders, disparity in the arms. Now, while you are here, just release the fingers and keep the back of the palms against the wall. Keep the back of your palms against the wall. Again, no, up, arms upwards. Aisa. So this is another way of learning. In case the Badungli Asana is a little difficult, they can keep the palms, back of the palms touching against the wall. Lock at the elbow joint, because now the elbow joint should not flex. It should remain straight. Yes, that way. And if they want to understand the extension of the frontal body, back body, slide the arms higher up into the wall. That way. Yes. You see the stretch in the abdominal region? It's an ascending action. Yeah. Now retain that ascending action when you bring your arms down. Then you will know what is the meaning of keeping awareness in the trunk. Don't let the chest drop. Notice how you can't just drop the arms. You have to carefully bring the arms down. So this is how you maintain not just attention to what you are doing, but you are synchronizing your intelligence with the attention. That means your intelligence is telling you where the arms are working, where it is not working, where the trunk is working, where it is not working. All right. So if these things you can do, this will just help the regular practitioner. Now, of course, if they have difficulty because of any shoulder problem, then let them not take the arm up, but just keep them by the side, rotating the palms outwards. Okay. Now, for those who can, carpal tunnel syndrome, you can entwine the fingers and go to the corner of that wall. Yes. Yes. Press there. Take your wrist still closer. Take the wrist still closer. Yes, that way. Now, puff the chest as you straighten your arms. Don't relax the throat. Puff the chest as you extend the arms. Yes. So this will help to release the tension. Of course, this is going to be painful. For those who have a problem, this is going to be painful, but this is the best way to work instead of going for surgery. Okay. Now you can do one more thing. You can show them how to change the interlock. You can just turn the fingers towards the camera. Yes. So they can see now you. Yes, that way. Now earlier, the right hand little finger was below. Now the left hand little finger below. Yes. The wristwatch is in your left hand or right hand?
Left.
Left hand. Okay. So you can see now when that is turned up. Yes. Now the right hand is below, and therefore the right hand little finger comes up. And do that again with the against the wall. Now place that there against the wall. Yes. Okay. So is yes that way. Okay. So this takes care of your palms. Now here what you can do, one more action with the fingers there. What was the sensation of the shoulder blades when you were standing against the wall? Can I get that shoulder blade action inwards? Now this is again a still stronger action. Yeah. Okay. So they can understand these. This is a simple thing to do. All right. Here, important thing is that the joint should work. You must also remember, now just a piece of, it's not trivia what I'm going to say. Understand that the elbow joint is exactly in the middle of the arm. So also in your leg, the knee joint is exactly in the middle of the leg. Yes. So if I need to access the extremities of my arms, that is my shoulder socket and my wrist, I have to involve my elbow joint. Remember this. Unfortunately, what happens is in ordinary time, are you able to hear me or you're struggling to hear
Yes,
me?
yes, absolutely
Yeah.
clear.
Okay. Okay. So what happens in our day-to-day life, because we are seated and we keep the palms in a relaxed state on the table or on the laptop, etc. And because we are hunching forward, the arms become loose and they are the first casualty. See? So we seldom get a chance to make the arms straight. We
Correct.
seldom get that chance. So whenever they're sitting at the laptop and while a file is being downloaded, they can do this. Sit seated. So now you
Right.
can show them how to sit.
Oh,
Yeah, just show them how to sit at a laptop.
so this is how we
Yeah.
normally sit.
Yes, this is how you normally sit all the way back and then you slouch. Yes. So I suggest sit in the front edge of the chair. Now that keeps your spine alert. Observe the difference it makes. It immediately keeps the spine alert. Again, you can sit back, know the difference, sit back, uh, and you can see there is a dullness, the chest drops, everything drops. Yes, the arm moves forward. Now sit on the front edge of the chair and pretend you are sitting at the laptop or at a desk. So your palms are like this. Yes. Now your spine is alert at all times. When you sit back and in a lazy way, the spine becomes dull. So one has to avoid this. So preferably, I will say, buy a chair which has no backrest. This way you will be forced to be alert. You'll be
Correct.
first forced to be alert. Okay, this is one thing. Now, sitting here itself, you can do that entwining of the fingers so that once in a while, you can, every few seconds or a few minutes, you have a break in between. You can even be reading your email messages doing this. It's only when you need to type, you can release the fingers and type. So meantime, you can always wait like this. This is one part of it. The other part of it is keep the chair slightly away from the wall, slightly away from the wall, not so much. Yeah. Now sit against the chair. Sit against the chair. If you can take the arms behind the seat of the chair, it's even better. If this is possible. Yes. Okay. So now that gives you the action for the side chest. Yes. Now, if it's possible, take the head slightly back and rest the back of the skull or the crown of the head against the wall. So this also helps to release the neck. Okay. If this is too hard, you can go a little closer to the wall. But in that case, you may not be able to take the arms behind. You can just try it. If it's not possible, that's okay. You don't have to force yourself to do that. So those who have difficulty in keeping the neck backward, they can just lean the head back, raise the chin up, so they can just keep looking at the ceiling. Now, of course, if you have very severe neck pain or dizziness in the ears, this action is going to be difficult. All right. So, piece of warning over here before you do this. But otherwise, if you can just sit like Madam is sitting now, with the away from the backrest and pretending to work or type, then that itself is good enough for you to do. Yes, yes, that too. And don't forget to change the grip. That's also very important. Yes. Okay. Now, shall we do something for the legs now?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Now, once again, I request you to go to the wall. And now stand against the wall. Keep the heels slightly away from the wall. I tell you why. Because the shape of the buttocks is such that it will obstruct you if you take the heels back. All right. So keep the heels against as close to the wall as possible. And as you did earlier, touch your outer shoulders also to the wall. Okay. That need not be shown. Now we can just work on the leg region. So we can see the legs. Yes. Oftentimes people who have knee pain, back pain we advise them to take the heel outwards. Keep the toes as they are. Raise one leg, yes, that way, and then the other leg that way. So what happens is the hamstring broadens at the back. It releases, yes, that's right. It releases the hamstring from the back and it rolls more towards the front. And as you are resting against the wall, learn to lift your knees up. That lifting action of the knees usually is a little subtle. What we tend to do is we tend to push the knee back instead of lifting the knee up. So here one has to be careful that when you are standing, you are learning to lift your knees up instead of just pushing your knees back. Yeah, now see, that is the pushing knee back. Yes. Now I need the lifting action of the knees, which is quite different. Do you have a old telephone directory, MTNL ka, in your this? No. Do you have a thick book that you don't use?
Oh,
Maybe
telephone.
a dictionary,
Yeah. Do I
something
have
that you don't use.
Big book that you don't use.
Thick book, if you have. Of course, I don't advise this. This is just for as a demo. We have to show respect to the books because they give us education. So what you do, madam, turn around, face the wall, keep the block on the floor, the hard part of the
Actual
book
block.
turning towards you, hard part of the against the wall, against that pillar, the book. And then place the mounts of your toes. No, place it on the floor, the book. I'm going to ask you to stand on the book. That's why I said I beg your forgiveness for doing this. Now place the mounts of the toes on that. Yes. No, no, don't stamp on it. Yeah, little back. Yes, there. Hold the pillar firmly. Yes, that way. Now you see the calf muscle extends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can turn the heel out a little more. Raise one heel. Yes, that way. Yes. So this gives you the extension of the calf muscle. Now you will notice your knees have to pull up. There is no choice for the knee but to pull up. Just step back and know the difference. Just step back and know the difference. How the knees work when you are standing flat and when the sole is slightly lifted. Of course, some of them may have wooden blocks, so they or cork blocks or foam blocks. They can use that as a prop to stand. You can also do this facing a window. Of course, caution is don't fall out of the window when you are doing this. Because here, of course, we have grills on most of the windows. So less chances of us falling out. But in foreign countries, they don't have that idea of grills. So when they stand there on the balcony, etc., and it's quite low, the chances of toppling over is quite high. That is why we request them to do the first one, not the second one. The second one is just an example of how the knees should be lifting. Yes. Anything else you want to ask, madam, before we do something else?
Yes.
You ask us.
You know, one moment.
Ah,
Yeah. Yes. Because, sir, you were saying that the reason why the neck hurts is
yes,
because the arms don't work.
yes,
So, is the reason that the back hurts is because the legs are not working?
yes, yes. So you'll see the design of the body is such that the upper portion of the trunk, if you divide the trunk horizontally into two parts, the upper part of the trunk is purely accessed by the use of your arms. And the lower trunk is accessed by the use of your legs, which also explains why the legs are longer, bigger, stronger compared to your arms, because there are many more organs in the lower trunk compared to the upper trunk. So therefore, the combination of the arms and legs does not just work for the external body. It also works for the internal body. So the health of your organs is not just dependent on the intake of food. It is
Correct.
also dependent on digestion, circulation, respiration, not necessarily in that order. All right. So therefore, how do you maintain the health of your internal body? How do you maintain the health of your lungs, your liver, your spleen, pancreas, etc.? Because what happens today, with due apologies to the medical fraternity, everybody is working heart centric. Do this, is good for the heart.
Correct.
As though there are no other organs in the body. But the heart depends on the health of the other organs of the body also. If your
Correct.
breathing is not good, it puts a load on the heart. If your liver is not good, it puts a load on your heart. If your kidneys are not functioning well, it puts a load on the heart. So the health of all the other organs is also necessary along with the health of the heart. So this is where the action of the arms and the legs help to bring about a holistic approach to the internal organs of the body, so that
Correct.
with the circulation in those regions, I'm not showing the asana as such, which really help, like in standing asana, etc. I'm just showing the simple things because it is always safer to learn directly under a recognized Iyengar yoga teacher. So this is just my footnote to what I am saying. All right. So therefore, we work on now, even when you work on the legs, for example, you can try again, stand against the wall, stand against the wall and do your Tadasana. Okay. So you see the action of your legs and pulling the knees up activates your upper legs. Yes. Now, yes, it works on the upper legs. Can you feel that action on the upper legs? So the thighs, you can touch the top of your thighs, it will be firm. Yes, you see it is firm now. Yes. Now keep the arms against the wall, Urdhvastasana. Yes, up, back of the palm. Yes. Now an internal organ lift. I will just give you an example. An internal. Like you did earlier, with the inhalation or with exhalation, slide your back of your palms, your knuckles upwards. Watch what happens to the abdominal region. You notice how it recedes and goes up? Yes. So now this is the combination of the arms and the legs for that. This is just an example to show you. Okay. So that is why we have to work on both the legs and the arms. No organ of the body works in isolation. These are your organs of action, karmendriya. So even if you have to use your hands, you still have to use your legs because you have to go from one place to the other. And even when you use your hands, you are using. So therefore, in yogic science, yogic philosophy, the arms have a hidden action that we fail to understand. The actual selfless action takes place from your arms and your legs because they don't work for themselves. They work for the health of the rest of the body. Remember this. Remember this. Which is why unfortunately, we don't pay attention to that. We just complain. Ye haath dukta hai, wo dard hota hai. Yes, but the arms and legs, they don't complain. They quietly, selflessly, if you want to learn social science, learn from your body. They selflessly work for your internal organs. They don't ask anything in return. In return, you get is good circulation and good nourishment, but they work selflessly. So therefore, we should show respect to the arms and the legs. So this is one of the things I want to tell you. Okay, another thing I want to show you is Utkatasana, how to sit. So the sitting in the chair, if I could have a sideways view, I'll be happy. Or you can just turn the chair sideways. Let the camera be as it is. And you can, yes, keep it like that. Stand in front of it. Now what happens is just sit. Just sit. Now this is the way we often sit. So we just flop into the chair. So now stand there. Keep the hands on the hips if you want. Actually, the asana is done from Urdhva, but you keep the hands on the hips or the waist. Okay. Now bend slightly forward so the buttocks go back. Yes. Now let the buttocks go back a little more. Yes. And now begin to sit without allowing the buttocks to flop. That means as you are beginning to sit, Lift, keep ascending your spine upwards. Don't let your spine go down. Now try to sit. Now see how long it takes you to sit. Now all the load is on your legs.
Correct.
All the load is on your legs. Now even when you want to come up, of course, space permitting, because usually what we do is we take support of the table to get up. If space permitting and there is no problem, now keep the hands on the hips, lean slightly forward, take the load on your heels to come up. It's a very strong lifting action. It does not come easily. You see how your legs struggle to work.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand that? Now compare this to what you did first. Do what you did earlier. Yes. No life in the legs, no life in the spine, no life in the arms. All right. Can you do that one more time so your viewers can see how you're doing this? Yes. Place the hands there. Lean forward. So the buttocks are going back. Yes, buttocks are going back. Now start bending your knees. Caution here is they should be close to the chair. Otherwise they'll land on the floor. Yes, that way. Correct. Now touch down. Okay. So you see the legs, along with the legs, your spine is also active as compared to otherwise. So now there's a sharpness in what you are doing as compared to a dullness in what you do otherwise. So this is something I want also your viewers to understand. Yes. So that was Utkatasana. Now we can do another thing for both the legs and the arms and the spine. I'll call it Ardha Uttanasana. That means Uttanasana is a standing asana where you bend and take the head close to the knees. We are not going to do that. We are going to do a modification of that asana called Ardha Uttanasana. So here, normally I will ask you, if you have a chair, turn the chair around so the seat of the chair is against the wall. Seat of the chair. Yes. Now stand in front of the chair. Place the palms on the backrest. Yes. And you can step back. Keep stepping back till your trunk comes halfway down. Yes. And now, yes, that's all. Enough. And now go down. You can just drop the head down. Now you can see from here, your legs are partly visible. Yes. Can you identify your knees? Looking at the legs. Can you identify your knees? All right.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Right. Yes. Now pull both the knees up like you did in Tadasana with the soles of the feet on the block. Now pull the knees up. Yes. Now extend the trunk in the direction of the arms, resisting the upper legs. Resist your thighs. So your thighs are going back. Thigh muscles are going close to the thigh bone, and your arms are extending over the chair or on the chair. Okay. Now, in this pose, watch your shoulder blades. See how the shoulder blades are cutting. So the dorsal spine begins to work. The upper back begins to work. Yes. So that opens the armpit. It opens the chest. And now if you are stronger on the legs and extend the spine forward, you get the abdominal length. Okay. This is one. Now watch another thing that happens. If you're tired, walk forward and come out. Yeah. Walk forward and come out. No, you can come out so they can see you doing it more than once. Then that will sit there. Now, next action I want you to observe is when you step back, watch what happens to the abdominal region. You notice how it recedes upwards? It is not sagging. It's not sagging. The more you lengthen the spine, the more you open the chest, the abdomens recede towards the back body. Observe that. Okay, walk forward and then come up. Now for those, yes, always walk forward, inhale and come up. Okay. Now for those of you, them who will be very stiff, and I can expect people to be stiff, then I will tell them use the wall instead of the chair. Okay. So now you're facing the wall. I will say keep the palms chest level. Palms chest level. Yeah, against the wall. Okay. And now step back the same way like for Ardha Uttanasana. So this is another way of working. Now this action is better because, madam, raise the head up. You can take your palms a little higher on the wall, little higher, and walk a little closer also because you're flexible. And now go down the same way and get the armpit opening. So this gives both relief for the shoulders, relief for the spine, relief for the legs. And here, madam, the additional action you can do, turn the heel out more. So that gives relief for the back, relief for the knees, and releases the hamstring. Okay, now here too, when you want to come up, raise the head up, look at the wall, start walking forward, and then release your arms. Okay, so this is another way of working for both shoulders, legs, and spine. Okay, this is fine.
Yes.
One more. Okay, that Tadasana part, I think we have covered that, isn't it? Anything else you want to ask before we
The
do something else?
the thing that you had said about the armpit being similar to the back of the knee.
Yes. So what I said is, when you, for example, of course, I expect you to show the back of your knee, but there is a lengthening in the back of the knee. Okay, so especially you can try again Uttanasana. See, so before you bend forward, watch what is the action in the back of your legs. The entire leg. Just watch the action. Yeah, don't touch anything. Just watch. Yeah. Okay. Now place the palms against the wall. Step back. Now your first action you will feel is the lengthening in the hamstring. Yes, you feel that? The back of the thighs. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So as the back of the thighs start lengthening, the back of the knees will also start opening. Okay, you're flexible. So I will ask you, can the camera go a little away? A little away. Madam, you can turn around, place the buttocks, hips against the wall, feet slightly forward, feet forward, lean against the wall, feet forward, still forward, a little wide if possible, wide. Okay. Now go to Uttanasana, not so wide, little wide. Go
Yes.
down all the way. Yeah. Press the buttocks against the wall. And now go down, touch the floor. Touch the floor. What is the lengthening? Can you feel the lengthening in the back of the thighs? Yes. So when you feel the lengthening in the back of the thighs, you will also get the lengthening in the back of your knees. Because the back of the knees, when the space behind the knees reduces, it puts pressure on your knees. So why when most people complain about knee pain is because the back of the knees don't open. So if you know how to open the back of the knees, then you will be able to understand how the legs have to work for that kind of opening. Okay. So understand this aspect. So similarly, now with the arms upwards and against the wall, you got the opening for the armpit. So yes, because the armpit opening is necessary to understand for future learning of pranayama. Right now, we are not doing pranayama. But in future, when you are going to learn pranayama, the breath has to reach all the way to the top of the chest. And in which case, if the armpit and the side chest is open, the breath moves easily. So these are preparations for that, for future. This is to keep you future ready. See, all other things become obsolete with time. Subject of yoga has lasted for thousands of years. It is not gone obsolete. You understand? So the every asana that you are going to do, what these few asana you are doing, keeps you future ready. That is important.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Okay. If
So
you
you
want,
will
now I'll
also.
show something for your back. If you want,
Yes.
the
Yes.
twisting action. Yes, Bharadwaj asana. Okay.
Yes.
You prepare a chair. Prepare a chair. Yes. Okay. Now, yes. Hey, you just sat like that without the Utkatasana. So that's what happens to all of us.
Yeah.
It's not just you, it happens to all of us. We become inattentive after some time. And that is why I find it laughable when people say, I want to learn concentration. Good. Yes. Now the spine is alert. Yes. Now turn both legs to your left so they can see the camera. Both legs to the left. Yes. Now here raise both arms up like you did earlier, Urdhva Hastasana. With the inhalation, raise the arms up. Now you are going to turn your chest 45 degrees. Listen carefully. Bring the arms down. Bring the arms down. Rest. Rest. Hath niche le lo. Rest. Listen. When you turn, your chest will turn 45 degrees to the left, but your arms will go 90 degrees towards the seat of the chair. All right? Because the chair on your left, the backrest on your left is exactly at 90 degrees to you. Yes? Now, we want to turn the chest also 90 degrees, but it won't turn. Not today. So, therefore, now raise the arms up with the inhalation. And now exhale and turn. Now here the action is a little fast with the arms. You turn quickly to the left and hold the backrest of the chair. Yes. Now with that, 2-3 inhalations, exhalations, stabilize. Now take a slightly longer inhalation so the spine lifts up. Lifting the spine up with the exhalation, twist the spine to the left. So what you will do, pull with the right hand and push with your left hand. Yes, pull with the right. Yes, that way. You know those signs on the door which says pull and push? Yes. Yeah, here you're doing it at one time. So pull with the right hand so that your right side of your chest starts to turn. Push with your left hand so the left side of the chest goes backward. So this is a twisting action. All right. And now to release the pose, inhale, raise both arms up. And now turn to the other side. Turn both legs to the other side. You are here, you don't need to get up. But since you already got up, or you just have to swing the legs to the other side.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Sorry. So I can just now
Might as well show the other side too, no?
show the other side.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Otherwise, they will say you only showed the right side, so we don't know how to do on the left. I mean, I've come across cases like this in my travels, so I'm telling you what actually happens. You showed us the right, or we showed us the left, and we know how to do that side. We don't know how to do the other side. Okay. Now turn, fast movement to hold the chair with the hands. The chest has already turned 45 degrees. Turn the chest. Yes, that way. Okay. Now, if they can take the camera behind you so they can see how your shoulders are working. Yes. So now she pulls with the left hand and she pushes with the right hand. Yes, that way. So now that flattens the shoulder at the back. You will see that? Yes, that way. Now in that twisting action, now here is something of a paradox. Okay, now you can release the pose. This pose should not be repeated more than twice. That means right and left or left and right is one set. So I will say do just 2 sets at any time you want. Do 2 sets, then take a break of maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and take another step, do another attempt at the twisting. Now here the paradox, sit for a moment, rest. Sit on the chair, rest. Yeah, that's right, good. And she's paying attention, that's important, yes. Now when you sit without using the backrest, just bring the hands down by the side. Watch the sacroiliac region. You know which is the sacroiliac region? Behind you, the sacrum. There, just sacrum, just below the lumbar. Yes, that region should always be ascending. When you every time it should remain ascending. Yes, this ascending action. Now that is the area also of your lower back pain. Okay, you understand this part? Now, yes. When you do the twisting, when you do the twisting, you will see the lower part doesn't turn.
Right.
It's the upper part that turns. So the movement of the upper part slowly releases the lower back. You are not able to directly release the lower back.
Correct.
So you have to gradually work. That is why I said don't do more than twice. Because after some time they will get relief. But when they start repeating the pose, then the pain comes back because the spine becomes too loose.
Correct.
So therefore, I said limit it just to 2 attempts.
Okay.
So this is Bharadwajasana. This takes care of the back. And as I said, and as you mentioned earlier, that it is the activity of the legs, the strength of the knees, the strength of your legs that will release the pain on your lower back. If the legs are weak, you are invariably, you will get back pain. Of course, notwithstanding an injury directly to the spine, like falling, or a birth defect like scoliosis or spondylolisthesis, those are extraneous conditions. But in a normal wake of life, normal movements of life, if you don't have these two problems and you have back pain, it means that your legs are weak. And the legs are weak because the knees are not active. Remember, that's what I said at the beginning. The knee joint is exactly between the sole of the foot and the hip socket.
Yes.
The knee joint. So also your elbow joint is between the palm or the wrist joint and your shoulder socket. So if I have to activate both extremities of my arms and my legs, the knees for my legs has to be active. The elbows for my arms have to be active. Okay, Bharadwajasana. Now I'll show you one more which will help for the knee and the back. Supta Padangusthasana.
Okay.
So you take you have a towel, yes? Okay, yes. Open it out, and what I can tell you to do is, you see the diagonal of the towel will be longer. That means hold one end and the opposite end on the other side. Yes, that way, correct. Now the towel becomes a little longer. If you want, you can just slightly roll it so it becomes firm like a rope or a strap. Yes, just enough for you to flip it around the foot. Okay, now you lie down flat on the back. Now you have placed it, okay, already under the right leg. That's fine. Okay, so it's on the sole of the foot. Bending the knee, bring the knee first close to your chest. Bring the knee close to the chest. Yes. Now your leg is bent. The back of the knee is soft. You can, now listen, the others can also put a blanket or a pillow underneath your head if the head feels hard or heavy. Yes. Double fold it if you want that blanket. If that is good enough, it's fine. Otherwise, you can double fold that blanket. Uska half karo. Bas, enough. Now you decide on your comfort level. Is this good enough?
Yes.
Okay. Now place that towel around the sole of the foot or around the arch of the foot. Yes. Knee is close to the chest. Back of the knee is soft. Now listen. To straighten the leg, extend the calf muscle towards the heel and with your hands, hold that, pull that leg downward. So in that resistance, the leg becomes straight. So you slowly release the grip of your towel so that your leg can become straight. Don't loosen the grip immediately. Now stop there, because most of them will not be able to take the leg up perpendicular to 90 degrees. Then they can wait at this point for some time. I'll tell you why. If you observe now in this bent position, the top of your knee is moving away from the bottom knee. If you can observe that, the top of your kneecap is moving, top of the kneecap is moving away. And now take that leg up. If you can, those who can do it at 90 degrees. Hold that towel a little lower, still lower, till your outer shoulders get pressed onto the floor, outer shoulders. Yes, so the chest remains puffed up at all times. And now that leg is straight. All right, now when you are coming out, bend that legs gently, gently. Yes, lower the leg down to the ground. Extend it slightly away. Enough. Now bend the left leg. Place that inside the towel and slip the right leg outside the towel. Yes. And now bring the left knee close to your chest. Wait for a little while. Now this is your second side. Yes. Before you lift, press the outer shoulders down. Puff the chest. Yes, that way. And now start straightening the leg and loosen the grip very gently. Don't yes, loosen it very gently. So that resistance between your palms and your foot will slowly give you the extension in the legs. You can wait at the halfway point. Now wait there. Extend that calf muscle a little more towards the heel. Never directly straighten the leg from the knee. Caution. If you directly straighten the leg from the knee, it will cause problems. Yes? The jerking action. Never be aggressive with your knee joint. We have abused the knee joint enough. So never abuse the knee joint. Yes, you can straighten the leg, because now I want you to make another observation. When the leg is straight, watch what happens to your lumbar spine. It goes flat to the floor. You notice that? Yes. So there is no gap. So that also helps to release the lower back pain. So it also gives relief to the knees because the leg is now upside down. So the gravity works in a different direction for your leg. I mean, the gravity works in only one direction, but because your leg is inverted, the gravitational force feels different. So this is how you get relief for your knees. So this pose can be done as many times as possible. This is good in case you don't want to walk, you don't want to do any standing asana. You can always do this supine asana because it activates the legs, and more importantly, it also drains the blood from the lower legs towards the upper legs for improved circulation. Yes? And when you want to get up, always roll to the right side, wait for a few seconds, and then facing the floor, slowly sit up. Okay? Next one we can do is Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. You can take the towel again here also. I can show you with the towel. Lie against the wall, both legs up at 90 degrees. Lie on one side. Now the buttocks are against the wall. Bring the trunk away from the wall 90 degrees. Your upper body. Yes. Now the hips are touching. Lift the left leg into the air against the wall. And then the right leg. Yes. Join the legs. If you can bend the feet slightly, bring the knees closer. Put the towel on the feet. Put the towel around the feet. Yes. And extend the legs up against the wall at 90 degrees. No, just let it be. Once in a while, you can tug at the towel and push with the heel up. So the back of the knees go flat to the floor, flat to the wall, back of the knees. Yes. So every few moments, you can hold the towel and tug at it. Now, the advantage of tugging at the towel is your thigh bone moves into the thigh socket. Understand this, that is important. So yes, it moves into the thigh socket. So the leg gets properly reinforced in the socket. So here you can rest like this, or you can keep tugging at it. It's a good way also to release the tension in the legs if you're standing for too long. And here again, madam, you can remove the towel, just slip it out. If you can just do ordinary cross legs or Baddha Konasana there itself, yes. So in case the legs feel numb because of lack of circulation, you can always revive the legs this way. This is a swastik asana, or you can join the soles of the feet, it becomes Baddha Konasana. Of course, if you have a problem with the knees, then don't try to do this. Just keep the legs vertically up against the wall. And here also, while coming up, join the knees together. Two ways of coming up, and joining the knees to roll to the right side or with the feet, push the wall away to slide away to come out. Okay. This should be enough. I think. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
there are 8,400,000 asana, madam, and we have
Yes.
just gone about a few of them. So you know how many lifetimes it will take to learn all of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. No, but this was really wonderful, sir.
If
And
if you have some questions or clarification, I'll try to answer if the questions are not too complicated. In a sense that if they are not total health issues, then it's difficult to explain those things.
um, one of the questions is, how often should we do this? Should we do this every day?
Yes, why not? How often do they eat food?
Okay. Another
Okay, but
question
in
is,
this, no, all right. What I would say is fix a time when you want to practice. Preferably, there should be a gap of at least 4 hours after a meal. So, empty stomach is best to do this. All right. So, empty stomach, do this asana, no problem. But if the morning time is difficult, then settle for an evening time. So, for example, now everybody is working from home, so we have longer hours. Earlier, what used to happen, you would come home, rest for a little while, then have your meal. Yes. So, before having your meal, you can do some of these poses just for relief.
okay. Another question is yoga only for flexibility or does it build strength?
The subject does not make any distinction between who is flexible, who is not flexible, who is stiff, who is strong, who is weak, who is young, who is old. Then the subject loses its universality. The
Correct.
subject is universal. It is for all. It is not divided by place and time or geographic locations. It is for all
Right.
humanity. So therefore, nobody is prevented from coming to joining an Iyengar yoga class. But of course, if they have a problem, they can always consult their respective teachers. I'm sure they will be happy to help them.
Right. And can anyone with knee problem do everything that you showed today?
Well, I've shown the precaution. If it is difficult
Correct.
to stand, then do the lying down pose because there is no load on the leg at that time.
Correct. Correct.
But they must also understand why it happens.
Hmm.
Apart from direct injury to certain areas, why things happen is because the one is the knees don't work. Now listen, if your joints don't work, your muscles suffer because they become short. Remember this. Your muscles will become short if the joints don't work well. So
Right.
the extension of the muscle, extension of the joints work together. They are concurrent actions. So
Right.
there's nowhere that you should be resting a muscle and working the joint or working the joint and resting the muscle. No.
Correct.
So we work on them together. Don't be aggressive if the body is stiff. Let the body gradually start warming up and unfolding. This is my advice. And of course, you don't have to do all those things there. Like I said, 8,400,000 asana. Take your pick. So
Right. Right.
what we showed today, they can opt for Supta Baddha Konasana. They can opt for Urdhva Prasarita, last pose that you did, Urdhva
Correct.
Prasarita Padasana. They can opt for those two poses. Those are safe to do.
Correct.
My only advice is, I'll repeat this, don't be aggressive in the action.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
So no distinction. Don't. Yes, I often get phone calls. Can I join the yoga class? But I'm not flexible. I said, who cares if you're flexible? It's not a requirement. Being flexible.
Correct.
Let me tell you honestly, being flexible is an advantage. But let me tell you, most flexible people often do the pose wrong
Correct.
because they get the asana so easily. They make a lot of mistakes because the body just moves without intelligence. In
Right.
fact, those people who are stiff have more intelligence in doing the asana because they don't make mistakes.
Correct.
It's the
Correct.
flexible people who make mistakes. So therefore, those out there in the world who are worried, no, you're in safe hands if you're stiff.
Great. Thank you very much, sir. This was really wonderful and very insightful, and we hope that we've imbibed everything that you've tried to tell us. For all those of you who want to know whether this session is recorded, it will come on to my, it will be shared on IGTV. You can access it there. Thank you again, sir. I have no words to thank you for.
No need to thank. I'm happy to help. Happy to be a part of the group for the group and help your viewers, your listeners, your friends, etc. And since both of us follow Iyengar Yoga, there is no
Oh,
need for
yes.
any thanks.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening and Happy New Year.
Yes,
Thank
stay
you.
safe, stay healthy, and God bless.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank